The year's 1982. Blazers are in, cool glasses are in, everything is cool. The music's cool, the vibes are cool, and the cars are cool. Enter the 1982 Chevrolet Camaro and Pontiac Firebird. So the 1982 to 1992 Chevrolet Camaro is considered the third gen Camaro and was part of the F-body family. The chief engineer of the third gen Camaro was Tom Zimmer, and the lead developer was Fred Shasma. And I'm never going to pronounce that correctly because I tried a million times and I still don't get it. So the previous generation of Camaro, the Generation 2 Camaro, had leaf springs, had double control arms up front, was heavier. It was more of a cruiser, but still a muscle car. The Generation 3 Camaro started embodying that sports car mentality. Coil springs in the back, struts in the front. It was more of a performance car and not just a muscle car. So what powered the 1982 Camaro? It was no other than the legendary 305 V8 or 5-liter V8 that most people know it as today. It came with 145 horsepower, which definitely wasn't much even for the day, 240 pound-foot of torque. You could get a crossfire fuel injected one that had 20 more horsepower, same amount of torque, but still they were affected by, the smog controls, the pollution controls. Car manufacturers were adjusting, even though this wasn't that fuel efficient of a car. So enter 1983. What was new for 1983? The Z28 was back on the market for the Camaro. It came with a higher lift and longer duration cam, larger exhaust, and new quadrajet carbureted engine, which produced a staggering 190 horsepower. Still not a lot, but it did get up and go. You did feel the torque on these cars. 240 pound-foot of torque did send this car flying and did do burnouts for days. Also new for the 1983 was gone the 4-speed manual in the 3-speed automatic, and enter the 4-speed automatic and the 5-speed manual. At the time, 5-speed was game changer. Now we're known to have 6, 7-speed manual transmission and 10-speed automatics. But back to the manual, having a 5-speed was a lot. At the time, only Japanese cars mainly had 5 speeds, European cars as well. For an American car to have a 5-speed, that is significant. 1984, nothing changed in 1984. However, in 1985, the legendary IROC Z came out. So you ask me, Vincent, what does IROC stand for? A lot of you old guys that are watching this know what IROC stands for. It stands for International Race of Champions. What a cool name. And a lot of these Camaros were racing in the International Race of Champions. And that's why they put the legendary name IROC Z on the Camaro. So what was different about the IROC Z compared to other models of the Camaro? Tuned port fuel injection. So the tuned port fuel injection came on the 5-liter V8, producing 215 horsepower, 275 pound-foot of torque. 1986, nothing changed. However, 1987, let's go to the Pontiac side. What happened in 1987 for Pontiac? The Pontiac Trans Am GTA. So similar to the Camaro IROC, the Pontiac Trans Am GTA was the top of the line Pontiac Firebird. So the Trans Am GTA came with 2 engines. If you wanted a manual transmission, again, you could only get the 5-liter V8. However, it was a good performing engine. If you wanted the new Corvette engine that was put into the Firebird, or the Trans Am rather, you would have to get the automatic, 4-speed automatic, 5.7-liter V8 engine. The other thing that the Pontiac Trans Am had over the Camaro IROC Z was cool digital gauges. Now these digital gauges were, compared to today, not great technology. They were known to go. However, they matched the car's styling, especially with the button steering wheel that you would get on the 88 Trans Am that controlled all your radio functions. What a cool car. Last but not least, what made the Pontiac different than the Camaro was the pop-up headlights. Skip ahead to 1990. The biggest change that you saw on the Camaro was the driver's side airbag. Pontiac Firebird got a little front end facelift, but that's it. Then 1992 comes around and the Gen 3 Camaro and Pontiac Firebird were done. And then entered the Gen 4 Camaro. Now, my personal opinion, I believe that the 1982 to 1992 Camaro and Firebird are a little misunderstood. It's a love-hate relationship. Some people like the look of them, some people hate the look of them. Some people like how they drive, others don't. Fox Body guys will definitely swear that Fox Body is better than a Gen 3 Camaro. However, I think it's a cool car, and it has a lot of potential for performance. Take, for example, Detroit Speed. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff with those Gen 3 Camaros. A lot of crazy suspension work you can do. I mean, you could put whatever in it. If you put an LS3 in it with a 6-speed manual transmission, big Brembo brakes, geez, that thing's gonna fly. And you know what? It's gonna look cool and it's gonna look unique, and you can paint it any color you like, and it's yours. And right now, they're going for a reasonable price. If you wanted to get into a car that wasn't a 60s and early 70s muscle car that are way too expensive, a Gen 3 Camaro and Firebird is a good alternative. If you put the right suspension, right brakes, and right engine in it, you got one amazing killer car. The 1982 to 1992 Gen 3 Camaro and Firebird. It was born out of the Gen 2 Camaro that started losing its performance appeal. The IROC was introduced, the GTA Trans Am was introduced, and then it finally ended in 1992. What a cool and amazing automobile. If you see them on the road, you'll probably think of hillbillies driving it, but you know what? It could just be a car enthusiast that wants to get into a muscle car, but they can't, so they get into a Gen 3 Camaro or Trans Am, which I think no harm on that, and keep going and send those cars all the way. Bald eagles, frickin' let them loose, burnouts for days, just keep it going, and now you know. If you enjoyed this video, give me a follow, give me a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, and bye all.